The Cincinnati Bearcats. Let's talk about them. 7-6 a year ago. Win total 5.5. Last year they started 7-1 and then lost their final 4 games of the regular season.
Ran all over teams. It was sort of they had game day in Salt Lake City, I want to say, right?
Yes.
And then laid a gigantic egg.
And then they went to the Liberty Bowl, a rain-soaked Liberty Bowl against Navy, and they lost. So they closed out the year with 5 straight losses. But all that being said, still a nice bounce-back year, for Scott Satterfield, who was a bit on the hot seat, maybe going into last season. Definitely some turmoil among the fan base. I thought he did a pretty good job.
Agree.
Now they're getting walloped in terms of turnover. Brendan Sorsby leaves, goes to Texas Tech. The top 3 rushers are gone. The top 5 pass catchers are gone. The defense lost most of its back end. All told, about 17 starters are gone from 2025. They went after the portal pretty hard. They also brought in 2 new coordinators. There's just a lot different here. There's a lot new on the Cincinnati side. So if you're optimistic, you point to the offensive line as a building block.
The only team on this episode where you can be like, they're pretty solid up there, man. A great starting point.
This might be the best offensive line in the Big 12.
It's them or Texas Tech, probably. Yeah.
So you'll take that, right? Yeah. You'll take that as a starting point. There is also a fair amount of steam on the transfer quarterback, J.C. French. I did read some reports saying, he looks better than Brendan Sorsby did this time last year.
Okay. I think he was developed pretty well. It was Clay Helton at Georgia Southern. Yeah.
Make of that what you will.
Yeah.
But there's some optimism there. I'd also add on the other side of the ball that they hired Nate Woody, defensive coordinator from Army, seems to also have a plan to bring back a little bit more pressure, switch schemes up a little bit, find a way to make opposing quarterbacks a little bit more uncomfortable.
Yep. Army did a very nice job limiting big plays last year. Yep.
It seems like there is a plan. There is reason for optimism. There is also reason for skepticism.
Agree.
There's a lot new. Skill position guys, defensive backs, a really tough schedule to my eye. I'm unsure where I stand on Cincinnati. I think I am a little bit biased in that coming into last season, I was really out on Scott Satterfield. And then I saw the way he started last year, obviously did not end on a great note. But it seems as though he was able to pull things together and move the needle forward. So I am willing to give them benefit of the doubt, B of the D, as you like to say.
Of course, B of the D.
Just because I feel like Satterfield, with his back a bit to the wall, did a pretty good job last season.
Yeah, also schedule-wise, there's not anything, I don't think, in the non-conference schedule that leaps out at you. It's Miami of Ohio, a good MAC team, Boston College, which looks like they may struggle this year. Western Carolina should be a win against an FCS opponent. So then you're saying, okay, can you find 3 wins to go bowling again? I think they have a bye before they travel to West Virginia. They're at Iowa State, so it would have been nicer if that game were at home. They're at BYU. They have Colorado late. I mean, they have Kansas State at home after those 3 non-conference games. If J.C. French continues, I think he's throwing to a JV, right? JC to JV.
That's right.
Throwing to a JV. If the transfers work out, skill positions and up front on defense, you're rolling a dice here. The Army defense wasn't especially good last year. I mentioned they stopped bigger plays. I don't know what you can turn to sort of get a great idea of what Cincinnati's going to be on defense with what they lost.
I mean, they lost 9 starters. I don't know if anybody knows what they're going to be.
Right. They have pieces in the back end with experience that were productive last year. That's not good enough to feel great about. So they're just another one of those teams. If they're not horrible at any one thing, if they develop over the course of the season, they do have those winnable games late, I think they're going to go bowling. Is that good enough? Like, Cincinnati's been to a 4-team college football playoff.
No.
This is not it's not a happy with 6-6 type season program.
No.
So I think they're in that zone as well.
I think they
6, 7,
need
5.
to get going on the ground. And it is not a backfield of household names. But they need to figure something out with Zion Johnson, Jabron Payne, by the way, who comes from Notre Dame,
By the way, that's where they succeeded last year too. It was a lot of the offense and a lot of the running. Yeah.
Zylan Perry, another name. If they can't get going on the ground, I think it's curtains.
Okay.
They got to get going on the ground, because for as much as there has been real optimism around J.C. French, again, the transfer from Georgia Southern, J.C. French was like 6th, I want to say, in the Sun Belt in terms of not completion percentage, quarterback rating.
Yes.
I don't know if he's such that they're going to like rely on his arm to throw them out of danger. They're going to need some balance. I think that's how you get over that 5.5 total. I am 6-6.
Okay. So we're
6-6.
same page.
Yeah, the schedule gives them a little bit of a ramp-up period to get things sorted out before it gets tougher. I think they could probably find themselves in a situation where they go 0-6 against the good teams on the schedule and 6-0 against the bad teams. And that's how you get to 6-6.
Okay.